Hi, everybody. Welcome to my schoolhouse. Just gonna wait just a second here, get everybody settled. Raise this up a little bit. Can you all hear me pretty good? Excellent. So, is anybody scared of the dark? Is everybody okay? We're all friends here. If you get a little dark, we're gonna turn the lights out so that we can see my slides. But if you get scared, just say hi to your neighbor real quickly if you don't know your neighbor, and just let them know that you might be grabbing their hand if something weird happens. You may get scared. So can we turn off the lights?
Yeah, can we go?
So you all, thank you so much for being with me today. This is another exciting fall quilt market, and it's an honor to be with you. I know everybody traveled pretty far. Mr. Butler and I took a couple days drive from Ohio to come on down, and we're really excited to share our booth with you. This is the first time David and I have a booth together. So I hope you can all join us on the floor tomorrow and check that out. So I want to dive in to, I have a lot of juicy things to share with you. First of all, I'm completely thrilled and excited to tell you that I am a FreeSpirit, and I'm a FreeSpirit designer. And excuse me, can we shut the door in the back? I'm hearing the speaker next door and I'm having trouble focusing. Thank you. So this is really exciting news for me. If any of you are with us this morning, we had a presentation. The Westminster Fibers Group has created this exciting platform for all of us FreeSpirit designers to collaborate under one brand, FreeSpirit. And as of this collection, Violette, I'm now going to be a FreeSpirit designer, and in the most beautiful company. These are all folks that are my peers and people that I admire and love very, very much. And as a powerful collective with a unified voice, I think we're going to make a big splash in the industry, and we're really excited. I'm very, very honored to be a part of that. The other great news, becoming a FreeSpirit designer expands my distribution opportunities. So as a FreeSpirit designer, you know there are several distributors that do carry our full collection from all of our designers. So now if that is an option for you and available and makes your life easier, that's a wonderful opportunity for you to access all of our FreeSpirit fabrics through our great distributors too. So my next collection that I'm showing here at Quilt Market is called Violette. And I have some inspiration to share with you, which is always fun for me as a designer and artist. The things that really motivate me and inspire me are the experiences that I have with people, traveling, being excited by design and art and nature. And a lot of times when I'm coming from a collection and I'm coming and developing a collection story, a lot of my inspiration comes from the experiences that I've had. Sometimes they're direct, and sometimes they're not always direct and can be kind of fantastical. But I traveled to France last summer, and Violette is definitely inspired from the time that I spent in the south of France. I was teaching with Carmen at the Chateau outside of Toulouse, and we spent all of our time shopping the brocantes, the antique shops in France, having these wonderful creative workshops, and kind of immersing ourselves in the beautiful French countryside and the French markets. And it became a huge inspiration for the story behind this collection. And Violette in and of itself is inspired by the violets that are grown in the region. And some of you may be familiar with the perfumeries and the soaps and the pastilles, which is a very, very old Victorian culinary process and fragrance process that's very important, and that's what inspired the name of the collection. This is a fun slide. The woad blue, the old French blue, is an inspiration for one of the color palettes in my collection as well. And we did woad dyeing. It was one of the classes that we were all involved in, which was really fun and inspiring. And then these are some beautiful shots from the market colors. I'm sure some of you have been to France and been to different European markets, and it's wildly exciting and inspiring to be surrounded by all the beautiful flowers and the vegetables and the arts and the crafts. And they spoke a lot to me in terms of giving me inspiration ideas for the different colors for the fabric line. So I have 3 cap sets with Violette. This is the first one, and it's called Treasure. And a little bit of Violette you'll see in my booth tomorrow too is I have this fantasy about France and like the Art Nouveau and Art Deco France. So there's a little bit of nod to some Art Nouveau and Art Deco and some of my print stylings that I've made really modern. And then an intermingling of this meadow design with all the flowers inspired by the fields. and also the beautiful sort of antique-looking French bouquets and floral arrangements, all kind of intermingling to tell a fresh modern story. And that's Smoochie. We did the photo shoot a few weeks ago, and the cats are going to be on everything. You come in the booth tomorrow, there'll be cat stuff everywhere too. We kind of brought them with us. But the thing I love about my prints and my fabrics is that there's so many fun things that you can do with them and so much inspiration you can get from playing with the materials. This is a garment design. This is a pattern from the Japanese book, Stylish Dress. And this is the quilting cotton. And this is one of my, this is called Town Square. This is one of the graphic intermixing prints in the collection. And you can see how beautifully it shapes up into the design for this wonderful tunic. And this is another Japanese dress design that was inspiring for me. It's called, it's from I Am Cute Dresses. And this is another one of the prints from the collection, and how beautifully the graphics of the prints tell a wonderful garment story as well. And then I had fun playing with this patchwork bag. I'm working on a new book right now, and this bag is going to be part of that book. It's called the Tapestry Bag. And I love showing this because it shows you how wonderfully the prints all work together in a patchwork story. So I really love telling garment stories, decorating stories, and patchwork stories of different scalability. So this is a really fun project that kind of brings all those worlds together. And these are my honey bun poofs, and there's my cat family. Yes, I'm one of those weird cat ladies. I love my cats very, very much, and they're everywhere with us in the studio. Dave and I work from our home, so these guys are actually a huge inspiration for our hearts. And then this is another fun project that kind of brings the home decor crossover into the patchwork. These are giant floor cushions, and I have them with me here today, that shows you how the prints combine beautifully in a decorator kind of story. And this is all my quilting fabric. And then this is my Violette free quilt pattern, and it's available on the Make It Coats website right now. So if you go back to your shops, you can download it right away. It'll be available on my website when I start sharing my collection with our sewing friends out there in the world. But right now, if you're interested, you can download it for free at makeitcoats.com. And that's the reverse of the quilt on the left of the slide, and then I intermixed some of the decorator fabrics and the quilting fabrics in the slide on the right. And I like to show that too and illustrate how beautifully the different substrates sit together and offer a variety of projects and things and ideas and inspirations that you can make. This is my next cap set called Flourish on the left, and that's inspired by the violet colors, so I wanted to definitely capture a little bit of that violet color from the region that inspired me. And then the cap set on the right, that colorway is called Portrait, and that's kind of a little nod to the woad blue that was so predominant from the region. This is one of my favorite patterns. This is a new pattern for me. It's called the Artful Piece. And you can make 2 different totes and 2 different pillow designs from the one pattern. And I love it because it's an entry project to teach patchwork to women that are maybe kind of really in the bag realm but want to cross over into patchwork. And it teaches a few different techniques. On the left of the bag, there's free-form quilting around the shapes in the fabric. And I've been showing this bag for the last 2 fabric collections, and it tells a fresh story every time I play with this pattern and use my new prints. And then I've also incorporated a piece of my Renaissance ribbon right there kind of to the center seam of the bag, and then a little chevron piecing on the right, which gives a little bit of a piecing kind of technique and incorporating the quilting, and it all looks beautiful together. And then this is my Decorator Sateen, which is the home decor fabric, which is a great versatile midweight fabric. Again, another version of the tote from the pattern, with the freeform quilting around the design gives it a really rich, beautiful feel. And then I've used my Renaissance ribbon to kind of top off the handles of the bag. So there's several versions in this pattern where you can make different handles, either repurposing leather belts, which is great for upcycling something from a closet, or actually making fabric handles too that you can decorate with the beautiful ribbons. And these are my decorator prints. And I have a few samples here with me in my schoolhouse, and I also have a bunch in my booth. When I design my decorator prints, I'm thinking how they're going to relate back to the quilting fabric so that someone can tell a really big story using both of the different fabric weights. And my honey bun poof's made up in the decorator fabric, and that's Mr. Pitt, proudly modeling his fur coat on the top of that honey bun, but you can see how beautifully the prints make up in poofs and cushions for decorating, also bags and lots of other projects. But I also love what happens with the kaleidoscope effect when you start fussy cutting the prints. They create a whole new design. So that large poof on the bottom incorporates that kind of playfulness with the print. Then this is my creative suite, which is a PDF pattern that's available as a download on my website. And one of the things I want to talk about today are the incorporation of like lots of no-sew or low-sew impact projects to offer a lot more options and versatility for the types of customers you want to bring to your shop and the types of projects that would be fun and interesting for them. So my creative suite has been out, this particular one, for about a year and a half. It's inspired by my Blossom magazine, which is my lifestyle heart-centered magazine that I've been publishing online for the last couple of years. And I incorporate a lot of the how-to stories from the creative suites in the magazine. So this is wonderful. The bolster on the right uses my Violette decorator fabric, and it's no-sew. So it's just stitch witchery going around a bolster. It could be a pillow, and just folding in the raw ends with stitch witchery and putting it all together. So you can get dynamic, wonderful looking projects in about an hour. So this is kind of a fun, low impact project. Smoochie again on the left. And this is a great slide because it incorporates the quilting fabrics from my third cap set portrait intermixed with the decorator fabrics as well. And it tells a really dynamic, wonderful, fun, passionate print story.
You really see the kaleidoscope on that honey bun.
Yeah, you can see the kaleidoscope on how that comes together on the honey bun poof. All right, so now I can share my True Colors collection with you, which is it's called a longevity collection. This is a concept that Westminster Fibers created a year and a half ago, where they asked some of their designers to create a longevity line, which has several core prints that coordinate back into all of our collections. So even though I don't consciously plan the same colors in all of my fabric lines, you might recognize some colors happening in my fabric lines. And I kind of surprised myself. I was like, wait a minute, you do use a lot of the same colors, but I think they're colors that I really love. So when it comes to True Colors, we developed a series of core prints that intermix in with all of my collections, and that's the beauty of this line. And it's also a line that gets reprinted over and over again. So if you sit down with your rep or you sit down in the Westminster Fibers booth during the show, you'll see my new collection, Violette. You'll be shown solids, and you'll be shown my True Colors line. And you can see how they can intermix beautifully in with my existing collections. The quilt on the right is a new project that's going to be in my upcoming book. It's called Aspen Branches. That is all in True Colors fabric, but you can see how they can play off as even almost a semi-solid. And then the other thing I love about them is that these prints look great with all the other FreeSpirit fabrics in the collection with other prints in your store. They'll colorize beautifully on your design walls. So there's a lot of flexibility and inspiration in the way these prints can be used with all kinds of projects. Then I'm excited, I have a brand new ribbon collection with Renaissance ribbons. This collection is called Violette to coordinate with my fabrics. And these ribbons also look good with my Glow line that came out this summer and that I showed at springtime, so they cross over between both collections beautifully. But what I love is there's a wonderful balance of some really simple graphic prints and then a little bit more detailed floral prints. And when you combine them in a project, it makes an incredibly striking adds an incredible striking feel to the project. And I have a pattern called a Creative Ribbon Suite. This is a paper pattern, and it's also a PDF on my website. But this is a great pattern because it has several projects that give ideas on how to use the ribbons. I have some of them with me that I can show you at the end of my talk here. Some fashionable ribbon cuffs, which just use a little bit of ribbon. Sometimes I use 2 or 3 ribbons, sometimes just 1 ribbon. And then I kind of decorate them with found vintage pins. And also the wonderful ribbon clutch with piecing several of the ribbons together on the front of the bag creates a whole new fabric. So it's loaded with all kinds of ideas on how to work with the ribbons, and it's a great way to market and merchandise your ribbons and your fabrics together and have a lot of projects that you can share with your customers. Okay, this is A little preview from my Glow Voile, which just launched. It started shipping last month, and I'm wearing this beautiful tunic from my friend Tina Gibbons that you all know and love like me. And this is her honey tunic, and that's also her necklace that she designed. She's like kind of psycho amazing. But I love this garment because it really shows the beautiful drape of the voile, and if I'll let you come up and pet me after I'm done talking, it feels wonderful. And this is another Tina Gibbons design. This is called her Lotus Shirt. This is another brand new pattern by Tina. And it's completely modern and fab, and it really illustrates how beautifully the glow makes up into a free-flowing garment. The other thing I love about the voile is it's a trans-seasonal fabric. It's a fabric that I wear year-round, so I layer with it. I wear a single layer of it in the spring and summer. In the fall and winter, I'll layer different pieces with it. It reminds me a lot of silk, so it behaves beautifully, and it's really, really versatile. And this is another Tina Gibbons design. This is called her Kristen Slips. I'm kind of a stalker of Tina, so she made these beautiful garments for the photo shoot. But this is wonderful because it shows how the two voile prints play together in this particular garment design that's so elegant and fun. And I have the dress on the left is by Liesl Gibson from Oliver and S. And that's called her Cinema Dress. This is also a new garment pattern that Liesl has available right now. And another fun pattern play with the two voile prints. And then the dress on the right is by a brand new pattern company, friends of mine from Granville, Ohio, where I live, called the Snapdragon Studios. And that's their summer jazz dress. And I'll have all the garments with me throughout the show. I'm in booth 1508. And I'd love to show you them, show you the construction, let you feel the voile and see how it comes together. Then this is a circular scarf from my Happy Creative Suite. This is my voile again, with the prints playing together in a wonderful infinity scarf. And this is a paper pattern that I have available. And again, it incorporates the playing with the different substrates. So there are a lot of simple projects using the quilting cotton, the decorator fabric, and also the voile. And this is my glow knit. I had a fun Schoolhouse with Anna Maria a little bit earlier. We both have great samples of the interlock knit fabric from Westminster Fibers, and it's a bit of fun material to print on because it's been really fun to play with ideas on how to work with this versatile fabric, and it behaves beautifully. This is a maxi dress by, I want to make sure, Jamie Christina. And I wanted to show you this photo because you can see it has enough weight and enough drape in the fabric that it behaves beautifully and elegantly like this. And then the next slide, this is from I Am a Cute Dress, a Japanese sewing book, and it shows you how it actually has a little bit of structure to the knit also. And then, again, I'm all about the no-sew, simple sew projects too, not only because they're fun and easy for your customers, they also attract a crafter person, but it's also fun and easy for you. I mean, this could be a wonderful weekend class. It could be an evening cocktail hour in your shop, making something simple like this macrame belt or scarf. And what's wonderful about this is you just fuse a piece of Wonder Under between a width of the fabric, you fold it in half and press, and then you cut your strips, and that's what you use to do your plaiting, your braiding, or the macrame. So it's kind of a throwback to the 70s, but it has a really wonderful modern feel. And I brought that with me so you can all feel this a little bit later. And then the next slide is taking the knit again and just using smaller bits and braiding a cuff. And then I also have a knit pillow with me. It's been fun playing with this substrate because it is so versatile and it allows you to do different scales of projects and like decorator projects and fashion projects and garments, of course. But that's a organic wave pillow that's in one of my upcoming creative suites. And it's just simply creating organic pleats with the knit and sewing along. You can't go wrong with how you play with it and create the design, and it has a super, super soft hand. And that's my creative suite. So again, for me, it's all about creating a lot of no-sew projects. There are actually 7 projects in the creative suite. It'll be available next month as a PDF download. But I incorporate the wrappable pillows, which are made with the quilting cotton. That's a voile quilt made with my glow voile. Then I have the knit belt or scarf and the cuff. And then also a no-sew lampshade using the quilting cottons and the glue gun. And that was a lamp that I found at the Salvation Army. That's a nice detail. So these are all fun. You can think of like a fun weekend retreat or an evening class, something that you can actually take part in yourself, which would be nice. Can you skip back one more slide? Oh, that's okay. This is my glow sateen used on a wonderful new product by Fairfield. It's a foam. It has an adhesive back that you can place on the wall. It's no-sew. I literally just did a beautiful like gift wrap fold with the fabric over the front of the foam and pinned it to the back, and we put it on the wall, and you have an instant headboard. And that's all part of that Creative Suite project. So I wanted to talk a second about my PDF patterns for your shop classes. And I've been giving a nod to that as I've been talking this morning. But what's wonderful about the PDF program that I have available is, as a shop owner, Susan that works with us in the studio, some of you know Susan, we would love to be able to send you a complimentary pattern that you can download, familiarize yourself with the instructions, plan your class around it. And the download could be simply a material on your student's supply list for the class. You don't have to hold inventory on patterns, so it gives you a little bit of flexibility there. But also that we have a lot of marketing things available for you to use. If you don't have time to sew samples or make up samples, and that is a challenge, we have a photography for signage and graphics, simple ideas and materials that you can share on a newsletter and a shop flyer that would allow you to market a class or market a series of classes without having to produce a lot of extra materials. So I'm always trying to think of ways to make it low impact for you also, to allow you to do fun new things that you enjoy and that your customers will enjoy, that you can be excited about. And then, of course, I have my full range of my paper sewing patterns. I brought my Bella Duster with me today. That's my newest paper pattern. It's a garment made with the quilting cotton. You can do a patchwork exterior, or you can use the sateen or quilting to do a singular, simple exterior, which has been really, really fun. And it's a little crazy, but if you're feeling crazy, it's a great place to go. It's a beautiful combination. It's a fun way to work with scraps, too. And it's also a wonderful, mixing of the patchwork and the garment. And I just want to talk a minute about my Blossom magazine. If some of you haven't seen my magazine yet, it's online. It's a free online magazine. You can find it through my website. But it's a wonderful, it's a heart place for me. It's a collection of ideas and inspirations, and mainly telling stories about shining and creativity. I have a lot of great stories and content written and shared by other people that I've met along the way, and it's telling their life's journey and their inspirations, inspiring us all to tap into our creativity, tap into our dreams. So there's this wonderful kind of heart-centered content, as well as the other passions that I love, which are creating how-to content. And I told a little bit about that earlier, where I shared about my Creative Suite projects are tied into the magazine as well. But it's a great place to land if you're looking for inspiration. And I have another issue coming out in January, which will highlight a lot of my new collections and fun new ideas and new patterns and projects, as well as some beautiful heart-centered stories. And I have my Dreaming in Color workshops with my friend Hildy Dunn. I've been doing a few workshops this year and having an incredible time. I've had a few different events around the country. I've got some planned for 2015, and I'll be marketing and advertising those shortly, as soon as all of the details start coming in. But Dreaming in Color is wonderful because it incorporates the color intuition workshop that I teach with life coaching, which is working with your heart's intuition and tapping into your passions and getting yourself in action on your life journey. So it's an incredibly satisfying collaborative effort with my friend Hildy from Handle Life Coaching. And I'd be happy to tell you more about that in the booth too. And we've got a workshop coming up in Granville this April in 2015. And I have Mr. Butler's Shaman collection. I wanted to show you a couple slides. This is the first time we've done a booth together, and it turned out beautifully. Our fabrics look gorgeous together, and David did an incredible job designing our booth and telling the story. But these are some highlights of his collection, which are absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful prints and beautiful jewel tones. And I have a little press too. I've got some wonderful magazines that have been launching. This German magazine on the top, Nahen, is a whole total Amy Butler collection. Everything in the magazine is Amy Butler fabric, and it's fun because they've used a lot of the different collections and combined them, which tells a really fun story. And then we were just featured in my new Glow collection from the spring and summer in So Magazine as well. And of course, you can join me on Facebook if you're not already, or Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. We've got a lot of fun contests and fun activities planned for the next few months to support our social media. And that's Uzi. I think he's the only cat you haven't seen today. But Dave and I are in booth 1503. We're right in the center of Westminster Fibers and Coats. And I really encourage you to join us on the floor tomorrow. Almost all of our artists have booths, and it's really inspiring and beautiful. And then I just wanted to share some of my other friends that contribute to a lot of the pattern materials that I work with. Renaissance Ribbons is just around the corner from us. Fairfield is 1436, Primdritz and Pellon too. So I hope you get a chance to stop by and see those good folks during the show as well. Okay, so I just want to turn the lights just for a second. But I just wanted to show you a couple of the things I was talking about. This is my clutch bag that is in my Creative Ribbon Suite, and this is where you piece a few lengths of the ribbons together and it makes a whole new fabric on the front of the cover. So that's something, in a few minutes I'll have you guys come up and take a closer look. And then these are the simple ribbon cuffs that you can make with the ribbon. And then I accessorize them with vintage pins and ribbons and beading. I mean, you could go crazy with that. And then I have a few of the knit samples here to show you too. This is the knit belt, or the scarf. And I really want you guys to feel this, to see how wonderful the material feels to your hand, but also how fun it is. The other bit of the personality with this interlock fabric is there's no serging, there's no raw ends that you have to worry about protecting, and it really turns out beautifully in a simple no-sew project. And then this is my True Colors quilt that I had in my slide that I showed you a little earlier. And then this is my Artful Piece tote, which incorporates my ribbon. And then this particular handle option is upcycling a leather belt. And then I have some of the other decorative pieces that I showed you in the slides too. These are the large floor cushions that are going to be in my new project book. And this is all the different quilting prints incorporated together. Does anyone have any questions for me? Well, you guys are all awake. That was risky turning the lights out, but you were awesome. So thank you for your time, and come and see us on the show floor. We have lots of good things to show you on our booth, and come on down if you have a couple minutes to take a closer look at some of my samples. Thank you.